Salutations, my friends, and welcome to a new video. I hope you guys are ready
for maximum comfort, no stakes, really good time.
I don't know why, as of recent, my entire YouTube recommended is filled with bookish sleepover videos. Have a cozy sleepover with me, and I am taken. I am charmed, besotted, if you will, with these types of videos. They are literally the no-stakes version of a 24-hour readathon, and I love that. I was the biggest sleepover kid. I was the 7-year-old out here rizzing up parents, calling up all of my friends' parents and going, "Tía, por favor, sé que le fue mal en el examen, pero te lo prometo que a la próxima vas a sacar 5. Yo le ayudo a estudiar. Por favor, deja que venga." And I would go to town. I didn't care if I had to lie to get my friends into my house so that we could have a sleepover. And you know what? It worked every time. I have so many fond memories of having sleepovers when I was younger and ordering food or baking something, renting movies, having watch parties all night long, playing video games, maybe carving out some time to read or chill or talk about the latest goss. It was just such a good, lighthearted, and overall cozy time. I have never fallen out of love with it, and even now as an adult, I try and have sleepovers with my friends at least once when we're all in the same country so that we can just spend an entire day together and have an excuse to hang out for as long as possible. And whenever we do, there's a whole dynamic to it. We either order in or we cook. There may be some baking involved. We definitely go out to either the deli or the grocery store to get some sort of snacks, chipage, dipage, all of the things, because we are pretty extra when it comes to the finger food. We're just like, we have to have something in case we watch something all night long, or if we are actually going to read or watch and read something. We really go all extra with the hangouts, and I love every second of it. So I thought for today we could have a little bookish sleepover together so that we can both read our books, maybe have some cozy drinks, have a few snacks, and overall treat you as if you are a part of the friend group, which you guys are, and take you through what a sleepover would look like with my friends. But it's you and me, girlfriend. So I hope you're excited. Before we get into reading plans or TBRs or what I'm planning on doing for the next however many hours we stay awake for and we are just, you know, hanging out, the very first thing we have to take care of is food. Food is an essential component of a sleepover, whether it's that you're ordering in, you're cooking, you're baking, or you're buying a bunch of things to snack on. And so I think the very first thing we can do is flashback to this morning, because yes, I did it this morning, and go out to the deli together to pick out a few things and come back home with the goods secured. So I'll see you in a little bit. So when I'm with my friends, the very first successful step towards having a good sleepover is the provisions. You need food, you need snacks, you need the dipage, the chipage, you need all the things. And so one of our favorite places to come to is the deli. Welcome. I love coming here. There's always a bunch of different stuff that I can't find at the typical grocery store, and it's just a joy to be here. I don't know if you guys watch Lavelle on TikTok, but I love his TikTok. He's constantly going to like different grocery stores and different like specialty stores, and he's always like, "I blacked out, friends. I'm blacking out." And that's generally what it feels like being here. I feel like I'm always walking in for one thing and I walk out with like $50 worth of stuff. So I'm gonna try and not black out today. I have very specific things in mind that I'm like, oh, this could be fun for breakfast, or this could be fun for tonight. A little bit of a flashback because we are doing this in the morning just because I've had to switch around my schedule for the day, but I definitely knew that this was gonna be our first step today. And I'm here with Brother Reads. I don't know if he wants to be on camera. Do you want to say hello?
Hello.
He wants to say hello. Okay, great. So my mom recently got a turkey pesto feta dip, and I want to see if I can find that today because it was so good. We were all obsessed with it, and I feel like that's going to be conducive to success for the dipage of the night. So I feel like that's going to be the way to go. Literally, this right here, it is the best thing ever. Just so good. Goodness. Glory. And now we need a cracker, a chip, something to put this thing on. And I think I'm gonna go for like the classic because, wait, where is it? Don't they have it? I don't think they have it. False alarm. I found them. This one right here. best cracker to put dips in. I love it so much. It would not be a sleepover with Mel if I didn't get at least once in trouble with my friends, so you're getting the full experience today. I really wish that I was filming when that happened, but we had a manager come up to us and be like, hi, why do you have a camera? And I was like, oh, like it's nothing bad. And he was like, no, but it's like store policy to like have to ask why you have a camera though, and like because they saw you taking pictures. I was like, no, I'm just like filming a little YouTube video. I felt like a criminal for all of 3 seconds for having a camera out, y'all. So let me show you the things that I got for tonight, and then we will flash forward to current me, because again, we're doing this out of order, but just thought I'd show you this before I stored it all away. So got the crackers for the dip, very important. Saw these on my way to checkout and I thought, why not get some cookies? Because why not get some cookies, right? Life is too short to not have cookies, so got some cookies. Gotta get a cookie counter going because I've said cookies one too many times. World famous dip. I don't know how actually world famous this is, but it is to me. It's got turkey, it's got cream cheese, it's got onion, it's got feta cheese, it's got basil, olive oil, nuts, it's got garlic salt, almonds. It's just so good. My mom bought this when we were hanging out with my family about like a week and a half ago. I want to eat this forever. I saw them, thought I'd bring them back home with me. Some chive and onion cream cheese and then some smoked salmon, because that on a toast is so good. Add some eggs to it, unbeatable. Saw this, I'd never seen this before. It's a cheesy white cheddar popcorn seasoning. I don't know that I've ever seen popcorn seasoning here in Panama, so I saw this at the deli today and thought, why not? And last but not least, pistachio creamer. I have never had pistachio creamer on my coffee, but I have heard that it is really, really good. I have seen all the girlies on TikTok rave about this, and so I saw it today and I thought, let me bring it back home with me. So we have got everything we need for our little sleepover and I'm so excited. Friends, it is time to talk about our reading plans because I've got 2 very specific things that I want to read today. And that's not to say I can't make progress on other books that I'm currently reading, never ruling that out, but because tonight is all about cozy vibes. I feel like something like Game of Thrones doesn't necessarily scream cozy to me, to be quite real, which is the other thing I'm reading. The very first thing I'd like to read today is actually a reread. A few years ago, I read A Sign of Affection, Volume 1, and I wasn't particularly taken by this. I don't know that I was fully in the mood to read this when I did, or if I just read it because I wanted to get something read, and I would love to reread this today, figure out if this is a series that I actually want to give up on, DNF, or if I want to keep on going with it, because it is currently sitting on my maybe DNF'd list, and so I want to figure this out. So I think a reread today would be quite nice, and then I think it is finally time for me to read Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. Now, I'm not sure if I'm going to read all of it throughout the course of this vlog. Honestly, low-key, doubt it. However, do want to read quite a bit of this tonight. I don't know if I'm going to be annotating it or what the vibe is going to be. I will say a very controversial thing, and it's that I have never read an Abby Jimenez book. I know you guys will want to rain down on me because this is the very first one I'm going to be reading, but in true Mel fashion, I have never claimed to be anything but chaotic. Also, it's a romance series, so for as much as other characters from other books show up in this one, it is a completely independent book. And while I appreciate everybody being like, you have to read the other 2 books before you read this one, no, I don't. So I will be reading this one first because I'm following my heart and this is the one I want to read. And I am very excited about this because it sounds so good. So we will do this together. I am very excited about this. Honestly, this lineup right here is already giving me all the serotonin I think I need. We're going to start off with making a coffee. Mostly just because I really want to try out that pistachio creamer because I've heard so many amazing things about it that if it's actually bad, I will cry, because the Elmhurst oat milk, not good, girlfriend, not good. I'm thinking I can try this first before I do anything with this creamer. I have never had a pistachio flavored coffee. I know it's big on certain coffee shops. I don't know that I've ever gone to a coffee shop here in Panama that has one, but ideally, in an ideal perfect world, I would love this. I love pistachios. I can literally sit and eat a bunch of them in a single sitting because I love it. So my intuition is telling me that this is gonna be good, but will it actually be? We're gonna find out together. I'm honestly hoping that it's good so that I don't feel like I wasted my money, because that would be really quite sad. So let us try this together. I think if push comes to shove, I can just grab this and I can just mix it with my Chobani vanilla creamer, because I've been using that for I think about a year now. Nothing beats that creamer. I've tried so many others, but there's just something about that creamer that gives the coffee the right amount of sweetness without making it too sweet. It's just so freaking good. I mean, it smells good. Let's see. I'm so scared. Okay, I did about that much because I don't know. Okay, let's try it out. Okay, I feel like my answer is going to be kind of weird. It tastes good, okay? But why does it taste a little bit like mayo? Is that like a weird thing? Is that like a weird thing? Why do I feel like it tastes a little bit, like just a tiny little bit like mayo? I will mix it up with my vanilla creamer just so that I can get more used to this. But I feel like if I do my vanilla creamer with a dash of this, I think it's gonna be good. So let us make a coffee together. Let us pick up a sign of affection because that's what I want to start out with. And let us get to reading. I also have like a few books that got here recently that I need to show you guys, which is honestly the funniest scenario for one of the books that got here and perfect timing for some others that got here. And I also have another Gigi and Bo order. I know you guys are gonna be like, Mel, literally in the ultimate book video, you hauled a few Gigi and Bo things. It's not my fault that Gigi made another drop. It was like cottagecore grandma, except I need to get into crocheting. I feel like that would really complete the image, but like a grandma. I don't know about the cottagecore, but like a grandma. Alternatively known also as the bookish dom. If you were there on Sprint, then you know. I am ready to read and I hope you are too. So we are officially in the comfiest armchair of all time. We have got A Sign of Affection Volume 1. I am ready to cozy up and read. Got a blanket right here. About to turn up the AC so that it's extra cozy. I think it may rain because it's super cloudy outside. Going to probably turn on some lo-fi while I also read, and it's a great time. Now, if you guys were on Sprints yesterday, then you'd know that Syl broke my favorite mug. It was a really tragic moment yesterday during Sprints where I was literally taking off my makeup because I was like, oh, I think I can go one more round if I take my makeup off. So I went to the bathroom, I took half my makeup off, and then I hear a thud in the office and I'm like, God damn it, what did the cats do now? Because listen, these cats sometimes act like dogs, sometimes they do crazy things, and I walk into the office to Syl having dragged my coaster off the desk, mug broken on the floor, coffee spilled everywhere, it stained my wall, it ripped my rug, and then after vacuuming, the water tank literally fell off the vacuum, so all of the dirty water went on the floor. Yesterday was a rough night, so I think I am all in for these cozy vibes of a bookish sleepover, because last night just about took me out, y'all, so I am excited to just not think for the next couple of hours. But I think we need to try out the coffee because I don't know if the ratio of vanilla creamer to pistachio creamer was right. I feel like I did a little bit too much vanilla one, not enough pistachio, so let's try this out. I feel like if I did just a little bit more pistachio, it would be so good. It's got a tinge of nuttiness, but it's mostly vanilla, so I definitely need to do a little bit more pistachio so that the flavor is a little bit more well balanced, but a good combo. I swear to God, the Chobani vanilla creamer, if you guys haven't tried it, it makes everything better. I simply don't understand how this wasn't a 5-star the first time I read this. It read like such an honest and heartfelt story that I couldn't help but fall in love with it this go around. This is definitely a 5-star. My plan was to give you an update once I started part 2, but I was so taken by it that I couldn't stop reading. I loved this. I think I read this back in the day in a 24-hour readathon, which is probably why a lot of things just kind of flew past my head and I didn't compute as I was reading. And if I was sleep deprived, then that also aids and abets the lack of reading comprehension, because I don't understand how I went from reading it to then being very indifferent about it to now loving it. I'm like, oh, I don't know if it was just a case of right book, wrong time, or if it was just me, I was the one in the wrong, because this is so good. We follow Yuki, who is a college student, fluent and she is deaf. She communicates primarily through sign language or whatever means is easiest for the person she is talking to. And although she does have a hearing aid, she can't really distinguish sounds, and once she takes that earpiece off, she can't hear anything at all. And despite having made friends in the course of her life, I think it is clear to me towards the beginning of the manga volume that connections are still very hard for her to make, one, and two, she is desperately yearning for deep connection and questions herself and who she is and how she communicates a lot. And I think we see that a lot in the way that she really starts developing this crush for Itsuomi-san, which is the love interest, and how he immediately is kind of charmed by her, starts communicating with her, and she starts questioning whether he's doing it because he sees it as a project, because he is very well versed in languages. He knows English and German and knows a little bit of Chinese and Spanish, and so she is kind of wondering whether sign language is just the next thing for him to tackle, or if he's genuinely interested in her as a person. And although there is that doubt in the middle of it, she still very much wants to connect with him, form a friendship, and potentially develop it into something more. She's crushing hard for this guy, and this guy is crushing right back, because the way that he is so attentive and so hell-bent on including her in conversations and reeling her into all of these different small talks, I think is very, very sweet. And I think it is probably perfect that the person she'll end up falling for is somebody who is willing to go that extra mile to learn different languages and who isn't afraid to be social and to be accommodating. I just absolutely love what I see forming already in this volume, and it really did break my heart to see her kind of go about daily life in a way that for her often feels alienating, and she is constantly wondering what people are talking about and if they're talking about her, or she's even developed kind of this system to figure out when people are talking about her, because that happens very often. And to see her question all these things and want to be a part of it, yet being really intimidated by the notion of it, just absolutely broke my soul. So I love the fact that he is just right there meeting her in the middle to actually, you know, form this relationship, this friendship. So I loved this a lot upon a reread, and I think we may just go on the internet to buy volume 2 because I really want to keep reading this. I want to see how their romance develops. Like, this was so very amazing, and I love that halfway through we also got an author's note from, well, the author, and the author mentioned exactly what type of sign language system they're using, and that they have got a person assisting and reviewing all of the sign language in the manga just to make sure that it's accurate. And I also loved seeing her friend be so encouraging. Shout out to Rin-chan for actually encouraging Yuki to talk to Itsuomi-san and be unafraid of chasing after this connection and figuring out for herself what exactly it is that she feels. Rin-chan also has her own little thing going on the side. We love. I hope that we get to see more of that coupling if it comes to fruition. And I can't wait to keep on reading this. It was so very sweet. So gotta love a good cozy start to this and getting a 5-star immediately, because I just knew, I had a feeling that upon a reread this would hit the right spot. So glad to know that I loved it this go around. All of that said though, welcome to the floor. We are currently using the ring light because my office and bedroom lighting is super warm, super soft. It bothers my eyes so much. I've been saying for a while that I want to change the overhead lighting, add more ambient lighting, so we're on a mission before the year ends to do that because I keep saying I'm gonna do it and then I don't. I don't know if you guys are the same when it comes to like home repairs. I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna do this, gonna do that, and then I just keep pushing it off to the last possible minute, literally me. And so my eyes get super fatigued with this lighting, and also for the filming, not really conducive to success. So if you see this, hello, we're having to go through all of the 9 yards today, okay? Got a package from Gigi and Bo to open with you guys, and then have got some books that I have, one, not shown you, and two, I think 2 of these books I have not shown yet. I'm not sure, but it's just a little exciting little bundle that I'm like, oh, just thought I'd share with the chat, you know, for the plot of the channel. Thought it'd be quite great. But I think we can start with the Gigi and Bo package because this is actually quite exciting. I literally placed an order from Gigi and Bo. If you guys watched my ultimate book video, about a week later, I think, or 2 weeks later, Brittany was like, hey guys, what happens if I do another drop? And I'm like, give it to me, hello? And it is literally Cottagecore Grandma, and I got a bunch of different bookmarks and I'm so excited about it. This one I didn't know if I wanted with a tassel or not, so I just got it without, but it is literally the cutest thing ever, and I think I'm gonna use this maybe for just for the summer. I think it'd be cute, but it is literally a bookmark that says reading is my jam. Literally, look at this. It is the most perfect Kosia's bookmark. I love this so much. So this, I just know is going to be a new favorite. And then the other 6 I got were with tassels. Am I excessive when it comes to buying bookmarks? Sometimes I can be, and this drop was too cute to refuse. So realistically, I got more than what I needed. Not that I needed any bookmarks, but literally look at them. The very first one is very much giving farm, and I love that the tassel is brown. I don't think I've got a lot of bookmarks that have got tassels that aren't pink, beige, or purple. I feel like all of them are, so a brown tassel is a low-key slay because I don't have any of that. Then we have got some watercolor bows, which I love, and then the tassel is this sort of like light blue, almost like periwinkle shade. It's so pretty. Then we have got these flowers right here, which I thought were super cute. This one right here has got to be one of my favorites. Look at the little lamb with the sweaters. It's so freaking cute. Some cats and flowers and vines. I had to get that one because literally look at the cat. It's stretching. And then last but not least, I know this is like Taylor Swift related because it's supposed to be like the era's cowboy boots, but I just got them because it was cowboy boots. You guys know I could not care less about Miss Swiftie. So I definitely just got it because of the cowboy boots because I got more Elsie Silver books to read. And now a little book haul. I did open all these things already, obviously, so there are like no boxes to rip open together, which is kind of sad, but the things are still very exciting. Bloom Books came through because what the heck? I have recently started receiving mailing from Bloom Books, which is so exciting because I am now loving romance books and I want to definitely expand my collection and keep reading it consistently because it just brings me a lot of joy. And I literally started getting books from them quite recently, and I think this is the literal most exciting thing that has happened recently, and I love this. So they sent me this hockey starter package with some L. Kennedy books, and so we have got The Deal, which is part of the Off-Campus series, and then The Graham Effect, which I didn't know. My patrons were instructing me on this because I had no idea, but The Graham Effect follows the children of the characters from The Deal, which I think is so cool. So I can't wait to get through these books series respectively if I like them. So thank you so much to Bloom Books for sending these over because I think that's gonna be a lot of fun. And then Guild, which if you guys know, I think I have it like literally right here actually. The funniest thing, I got the self-published edition literally not too long ago, and it was $4 from my bookstore. I think it was $4 because it's like the old edition and they were reprinting, and now Bloom Books has not only sent over the new edition of Guild but also the second book, Glint, and I am quite excited about this. It's so funny too because my brother read the synopsis for Guild and he's like, I'm taking it. I want to read it. And I was like, you know what? I'll give it to you. So I'm gonna give the other copy to my brother. I'm going to keep this one from Bloom Books. But this is so freaking cool. So thank you so much to Bloom Books for literally hooking a girl up with these things because this is amazing. This is, again, the coolest thing that has ever happened. It's like a milestone of the channel. I love it. It's just so freaking cool. And then shout out to Lissy, one of you guys, also one of my patrons, who sent over these 2 books, also romance books. You can see the mood we are in. I love that this vlog has been like very romance centric, but she sent over A Novel Love Story by Ashley Poston as well as Off to the Races by Elsie Silver, which I am so excited to read both of these. The only other experience I have got with an Ashley Poston book is with The 7-Year Slip, which I love, and it very much seems like Ashley Poston specializes on romance, magical realism, which is, I think, so different to what I typically read, which I find very, very enchanting and charming. And we follow our main character, Elsie, who is going on her book club retreat, and all she wants is to cozy up with her friends, have a good glass of wine, and disconnect from the real world. And her car breaks down. She ends up in this quaint little town, and she realizes that she is now stuck at the town that is featured in her favorite romance series. So I think she enters like her favorite book and she's stuck there. Again, romance with a magical realism twist. Sounds so fun. I can't wait to read this, hopefully in September. And then Off to the Races. This is the reprint. I know a lot of people had loads of things to say about these new covers. I love these. I think they're stunning. So I can't wait to start on the Gold Rush Ranch series because Chestnut Springs is over and I can't believe I'm done with it, but I need more Elsie Silver. Hopefully this will be good. I think this one follows a horse trainer and she has to train this guy for his competitions and whatever, and he wants nothing to do with her, and that's kind of where it goes. I really don't know like the whole specifics of this, but I can't wait to go into this, and I'm not even gonna read the full synopsis because I want to go into this as blind as possible so that I don't build up any expectations, because I think this was her very first ever book, so definitely don't want to like mess it up. But I'm very excited about this and I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that it's a good time too. For every cup of coffee we have in this household, we have 40 ounces of coffee because you guys already know coffee messes with my jaw sometimes. And lately it's been good because I haven't had coffee too often. So I don't think it'll pose an issue, but listen, gotta refill the bad boy, gotta give the cats food, and also have to fetch myself food. So I think we're gonna grab the dip. Oh, I wish you guys could taste it. Honestly, my mom got it when my grandparents were here because my granddad was here for all of his cardio appointments because he has a problem in his aorta on top of the counter. Listen, this man is out here decomposing, okay? We were like, dude, stop. Like literally stop catching strays. Like what's happening? It's crazy. So we gathered as a family the day before they left and we bought a bunch of things and that was one. Everybody was glued to that damn dip. It's so freaking good. I'm not too hungry because obviously just had the coffee not too long ago. Love that I say not too long ago, but it's been like a solid 2 hours, guys. And so I definitely will eat just a little bit, not too much, and then we will sit down and start just for the summer, which I am very excited about. And I can't wait to fall in love with these characters, hopefully equally as much as everybody else has. Oh, I just know I'm gonna have a great time with this. Well, I say that so confidently. I got no experience with Avi Jimenez, so that could be a bold-faced lie, but I'm hoping that it's good. It is fully the way. I forgot I had like this neon light, ring light situation to clip on to like your phone or a camera. This is what I'm using right now. And I mean, you can see the glare in my glasses, but it's kind of a vibe. Ambient lighting, cozy, ultimate cozy vibes. Because I don't have any ambient lighting, so this is as close as we're gonna get tonight, friends. But Just for the Summer by Avi Jimenez, I am 150 pages in. Also, for time reference, it is currently 11:40 p.m., which I did not realize it was this late because I didn't have my phone with me. I had it over at the credenza, and so when I went to fetch my phone, I thought it was 9 p.m. only to realize it's nearly midnight. Hi, welcome to our sleepover, which means that literally as soon as I update you about this, we're gonna go take off the makeup together because it needs to come off so that we have got a fresh, clean face for a few more hours, I think, because I really don't want to stop reading. The book is so good so far. So in this book, we follow Emma and Justin, who both bear the same curse, is what they're calling it, where every single person they date, when they break up, they end up finding their soulmate happy ever after. And they figure that if they date each other for however long they typically tend to date people in very similar conditions under the same stipulations, then they will cancel each other out, and whoever they date next is going to be the one. So they convene at Minnesota, which is where he lives, in order to go about this fake dating but real dating situation. And they immediately figure out, after they meet each other, have their first date, and also as they text before they meet and they FaceTime and they start bonding, that this is not just a silly little bond that they've got going, but rather something that they wish wouldn't have to end, because if the circumstances were not so peculiar, they would like to continue going on dates with each other because it is the best they have felt in a partnership. And the book reinforces the facts that both of these characters, when they have dated other people, they kind of date people to go through the motion, but they have never felt like their heart skips a beat, or like the world stopped rotating when they met this person, or like they were hit by a truck and it was just like a life-altering moment. And they kind of feel that way when they meet each other and start hanging out. The cats are creating mayhem, please excuse. But yeah, I immediately loved that fact that it was very distinguishable from their past experiences, and their circumstances outside of them meeting each other are also very peculiar, because Justin finds himself in a position where he has to take over all three of his siblings, and he needs to assume a fatherly role with them, which is not unlike what he's done since the passing of his father, but very peculiar given the situation that his mother finds finds herself in. And then Emma herself has had a really tough life, specifically a very tough childhood, where she went through the foster system and she saw everything under the sun while she was in it. And her mom was very fight or flighty, and there is the reinforcement of her mom is to some capacity mentally ill, and that has aided and abetted a lot of that really awful behavior toward Emma. Emma was often neglected and left at home in really terrible conditions, which then obviously led her into the foster system, and she kind of leads her life in a way that she goes forward with empathy and not with any sort of hate or apprehension or resentment of any kind. And she is very hopeful still that her mom will seek out the necessary help, that she will get better, that she will come back into Emma's life better than ever. And she has not yet proven to be any of those things. And so as she meets Justin, we very quickly see the reappearance of her mom. And there's immediately a lot of tension surrounding that. So I'm very curious to see and hear more. I definitely will tonight because this is not the last I'll be reading this for the night. So I think taking the makeup off is wise, and to keep on reading this because I'm really enjoying my time and it's really easy to read. I will say I don't think the intro for the book was the smoothest because it's just a very cold intro specifically to Maddie and Emma. I think the way that Abby Jimenez opened with the two of them sitting at lunch and just chatting about the Reddit thread didn't really come across as too natural a conversation. So I'm glad that we've moved on to smoother waters because I was concerned that I was not gonna like the writing style, but now that I'm on page 150 and I'm about to walk into chapter 15, it's definitely a lot better. I feel like this is gonna become a problem because I'm gonna want to walk around my house with this little purple ring light everywhere and just look like this in every video. I am who I am and I love cozy lighting. I really need to add ambient lighting, I think, is what I'm learning throughout the course of this vlog. That said though, I want to do a little face mask action. I don't have a face mask, but I do have under eye masks, so I think that could be fun. And I have them in the fridge, so you already know it's gonna be cold and good. I feel like it's gonna be great. Please hold. I'm so excited about this. This is the Pixie Detoxify. This is where we need to be, okay? This is where we need to be at 12:23. It's a party. Okay, great, fantastic. I feel like this is gonna be so cold though. And I love that I'm putting eye masks on my kitchen. Have you ever seen this move before? Maybe not. It's gonna be so cold. I'm not ready. It's so... Am I putting this on right? I feel like I'm putting it on the wrong way. Wait, is it like this? Which way is the correct way? Is it this way or the other way? I need to investigate. Under eye mask. Oh, I'm totally wearing it backwards. Did you expect anything else from me? Like, honestly, this is why we're friends, y'all. This doesn't feel right. This does not feel correct. But you know what? Sure. Does this look correct to y'all? Because it looks incorrect to me. But all the pictures say it online, so I'm just gonna do what they do. Let's put it... Oh my god, it's so cold. It's so good. I feel like I've entered another dimension. Why am I doing ASMR? I don't even know at this point. I feel myself entering a state of relaxation. And now I feel like we need to fetch a snack. I feel like this late hour calls for cookies and some flaming hot Cheetos. Even Sil's interested, right? Even she knows it's a leap. Even the cats are eating. We love... I eat, you eat, we all eat. We ate. All that to say, how unhinged would it be if I used a Christmas bowl for these things? You know what? Life is too short not to. I feel like everybody's prepping for hocus pocus. I'm prepping for all I want for Christmas is you. To each their own with their holiday preferences. Mine, this is where I'm at 24/7. It's also my comfort bowl. I don't know why it's become that, but it brings me joy. So you know what? If I gotta have flaming hot Cheetos at nearly 1 a.m. in a Christmas bowl to read my summer book, wearing eye masks with my glasses on top and parading my camera around with a purple ring light, I'm living my best life. Gotta get some level of radioactive in, and then I'll just take the cookies because I feel like it feels wrong to put a cookie on a plate of hot Cheetos. So I'm just gonna grab one when I'm done with the Cheetos. Is gonna be fine. And now I go back to just for the summer, some lo-fi and my snacks. It's cookies, dude. This is just where it's at. We're transferring to the bedroom because I already feel myself getting very sleepy. So I'm gonna eat this cookie, probably read like 2 more chapters, brush the teeth, go to bed. I think that's where we're at. And now that we are in bed, and I know this is not the best angle, I'm not like fully facing the camera, I'm just laying here. I got halfway through just for the summer. It reads super easily. It's honestly low-key addicting, and I love Justin so much. And I love that the characters are recognizing that this is what it is, in the sense that he is the definition of, if he wanted to, he would. He constantly goes the extra mile with these dates, and he sends her like these super detailed, personalized, beautiful digital invitations with the dress code, and sends her surveys and exit surveys as well. And it's just so adorable. Like, I just love the level of detail that Justin is going through when it comes to going on these dates. And it makes me wonder almost if his past relationships have failed, because going that extra mile is something that not a lot of people are used to. And so I wonder if it just made all the girly pops just feel a little too vulnerable, maybe like he was being a little too extra. But I love that Emma loves it, and that Maddie, her friend too, just acknowledges the level of effort going into everything, which is stunning. I think it's very frustrating that Emma is so closed off, and like she said that she's an island. She doesn't let anything enter it, anything perturb her. She is not the type of person that she lets people in, or that she can even find herself in the position of caring. And it is very frustrating when Justin is seemingly falling so hard. And I can't say that Emma is not, because like we see her loving this whole thing, but the fact that she's constantly finding reasons to self-sabotage, I'm like, girl, don't do it. Do it. He's a good one. But obviously it comes from her childhood and how that whole element of her life played out. But oh my god, the saboteur is crazy. So I'm curious to see where things are gonna go. But also, the baby raccoon in the bra scene, if you've read this book, then you know that was simply too funny. I was literally cackling. And that day, that last day, if we will, with the mom, it had no business making me cry. I did cry, have to admit. But also, while we're here, I need a show of hands of how many of you guys watched this latest season of Love Island US. I have attempted to watch other Love Island seasons, both UK and US, and I did not connect once with any of the seasons I attempted to watch. And then one of my patrons, shout out to Tiara, she actually convinced me to start Love Island US season 6, which is the current one. It was so good. I just absolutely fell in love with the show. I think the casting, more than anything, I think they nailed it. They chose a really great, dramatic, and yet mature, but also not so mature for some of the units, but they just chose like a really great wide array of people for the season that just worked. And the friendships that formed, PPG, like, oh my god, I'm not the biggest fan of Leah, like, I'm not even gonna lie, but PPG is supreme. They were so good. And the way that people set boundaries, the way that the drama came about, the way that certain people moved, it was honestly everything that I love from different reality shows that I already watched put together. And it was just the best iteration of it. So I'm hoping that whatever follows this cast, it measures up, because it's a tall order to fill. Like, it's just gonna be wild and hard to top this season. I want to know if you watched Love Island. Who were you rooting for? Who were your favorites? Who did you dislike? And why is it Kayla and Aaron? And I know I'm in the minority with not liking Leah, but I am so sorry. I cannot bring myself to like this girl. There were times, specifically with Miguel, where I was like, oh wait, they kind of have the same sense of humor. It's kind of cute. But then the way that she moved and talked about certain topics, and the way that she was quite insensitive, and also low-key a little bit of a liar and a pick-me during the season, not my favorite. it. And then she's out here being like, oh my god, I am a girl's girl. I'm not saying that she isn't, because like PPG, right? But there were loads of instances in which she did not move like a girl's girl. And I'm just like, Leah, you do know this is televised, right? Because I saw a thing or two that was kind of not the vibe or the move. That to say, she really did make great reality TV. Love that the little light has given out on us. Listen, it was bound to happen at some point because it barely had any battery. But my favorite girl was Janae. Janae was everything. Janae and Kenny. Oh my god, I love them so much. This season was so good. I don't know who I am anymore. I feel like I rediscovered myself and my love for reality TV. And I need to hear y'all's takes on Love Island because I don't want to say too much because I'm like, is it really a spoiler? It's been out for a while though, like the season's done. I can't wait for the reunion. I feel like it's gonna be so good. We were literally talking about this in our latest main channel sprinting session. My top 4 men, and I'm not even talking personality, though most of them are personality based. Also, they're hot. One of these picks is just because he's hot, but Miguel, Kenny, Cordell, in no particular order. And then Rob. Listen, I don't know how I feel about Rob because I feel like Mr. Mans is out here doing the most sometimes, okay? But he's proper hot. Like the tattoos, I think, really did a girl in. And I hate snakes. You guys know this. It was kind of hot though. Buenos dias, alegría. A new day has dawned. Slept very little. It is currently 8:47 a.m. and I don't even know what time I actually went to bed. I just know that I've got 100 pages left of just for the summer. So however long it took me to read, however much else I read, that's how long it took me to go to bed in the end. But I think I went to bed at maybe 3:30 in the morning or something along those lines. I don't even know. Just for the summer is such an addicting read. I couldn't stop. I was just like, one more chapter, one more chapter. And you already know what one more chapter means. It means staying up till quite late. And I did think about just staying up and finishing it completely, but I didn't because I knew I had sprints today because today's Sunday and I sprint every Sunday on Patreon. So I prevented myself from doing it, but I did think about it. And I just have to say, I love that Emma got called out because it was needed because girl is just out here sabotaging herself a little too well, a little too much. And I am glad that Maddie called her the fuck out because it was necessary. But also Justin's group of friends, Benny and Brad, are such good friends. I love seeing good depictions of male friendships in media because I feel like often we don't, or we see the guy be kind of like a loner or not really have a good group of friends. And I feel like these two are so supportive. Anytime Justin needs anything, they're right there for him. And now that he has taken care of his siblings, they are just so attentive to what Justin needs. If he needs time off, if he needs sitters, if he needs to remodel the bedroom, the bathroom, anything, they're right there for him. And it's just been such a lovely depiction of friendship that I could not help but fall in love with his friend group because I think it's lovely. I think Maddie and Emma's relationship is a bit more complicated than Justin with his friends. So there are parts of her dynamic with Maddie that I'm a little bit infuriated at, but overall, I quite love the friendships in this book. So it's good. All that to say, I am about to get up and get ready. And then I am going to Café Unido because all I know is that a chai latte is warranted this morning. And I'm probably going to get myself some avocado toast with eggs too because I have been craving avocado toast and I have avocado. Oh my god, I had guac yesterday and I didn't even touch it. I do have avocados. They're just not ripe yet because I chose the hardest ones at the grocery store because sometimes the soft ones you open them and they don't look so good. So I've just been waiting and waiting some more, and these Haas avocados don't want to ripen up. So I am thinking of getting some avocado toast with eggs and then getting a chai latte while I'm there. So I think we're gonna do that together. We're gonna pick up the food and then we're gonna come back. We're going to eat and then we have sprints and I'm going to finish just for the summer and we're doing it together. You know what? I am a liar because the extent of me fetching food is going to be me going to reception to pick up the food I just ordered. This happens all the time. When my friends and I have got sleepovers, we're gonna go fetch food. It's gonna be fun. We're gonna eat and it's gonna be amazing. And then we shower, we get dressed, we look at each other and we go, maybe we just order in and we just chill on the couch. And you know what? That's exactly what we're gonna do today. So I'm going to fetch my blanket on the living room, put it on the armchair in the office, and then we're gonna wait for the food to get here and we're going to drink a nice chai latte with a great avocado toast and we're going to finish just for the summer together. You guys, our sleepover is over. Sadly, it is obviously the day after morning has passed and it is time for you to go back home. But I hope this was a fun time. I did finish Just for the Summer just now and I did cry a little at the ending. I will say the romance portion of the book I really enjoyed. I enjoyed the friendship element of the book. I really enjoyed seeing Emma interact with Justin's family and what can now be considered like his kids, but you know, his siblings. And I did like the work that had to be put in order to make this relationship work. I think the acknowledgement towards the end of how Emma was not doing okay was honestly amazing because it needed to happen in order for me to even believe that this is a real sustainable relationship that can happen and, you know, be fostered through time. And so that aspect I enjoyed. I think there were moments in the book in which I was frustrated, not only at the characters, but also at the writing. I think there are several instances in the book where the dialogue doesn't necessarily read naturally and it definitely seems like it's being put on for a book, and I encountered that many times, especially as I'm the type of person that depending on the scene I will read the dialogue out loud sometimes. I think that's a really for sure way of knowing whether the dialogue seems natural or if it comes across as forced, and I encountered that several times in the book. Also, and it's more so like nitpicking at the way that the book is marketed, because the book is marketed as like a summer romance and it's supposed to be really good. And I feel like this book would have just worked if it didn't have anything to do with the summer, because it's not really like a super fun summery read. Yes, it's easy to read and it's easy to get through, but the topics in here get quite heavy with child PTSD and depression and several different depictions of mental health and mental illness that I don't know how much of a fun summer read it would be for people, especially because towards the end it becomes a huge emphasis in the story. And I mean, the mental illness and her, as in Emma's relationship with her mom, is a huge hanging cloud over the entire book. But towards the last third, it becomes like a real huge priority to work that out and find the truth out of everything. And it can be quite heavy. It is heavy. And I think I was frustrated mainly at Emma, but I also can't fault her. So I think it's just me being frustrated, but I understand that experiences like this do exist. I think it was mostly just frustrating seeing everybody around her vocalize exactly what it is that she's going through and vocalize exactly how it is that she feels or what historically has occurred in her life, and seeing her be in so much denial. It broke my heart, but it was equally as frustrating because you just want Emma to acknowledge these things, work on it to get better, and yet she chooses not to over and over again. And I really felt frustrated at the fact that before it got to a good point, it's like we were giving 5 steps forward and 20 steps back. And I generally don't really love romance books like that. I think in this one more than others that I have read, it's more warranted because there's an actual reasoning as to why it's happening. But overall, I wouldn't say it's a favorite, and I am torn on what to rate this. I feel like half of my brain is going, it's a 3-star. The other half of my brain is going 4-star, and then the math is off because there's a section of my brain telling me to compromise and just go at a 3.5 because it's neither here nor there. I feel like a 3.5 sounds right to me, but I will sit on it. And once I am editing this video, because this video is not going to come out for like another week and a half, so when I am sitting down, I'll put the rating up here, whatever the final rating is. And that is it for today, friends. That is all I have got for you in this little bookish sleepover. I hope you guys loved this one. Let me know if you'd like to see another video like this again. I genuinely thought this was super fun, and I often don't feel like vlogging, or vlogging can feel like a task. I love it most of the time, but there are times where picking up the camera just feels a little extra difficult. Not with this vlog. It was honestly so fun to do this, and it felt so much chiller, low stakes, no stakes, and I think it's because of that reason that I had not only such a good time, but I was able to get through my books just without really thinking about it. So hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, give it a thumbs up down below. Comment down below, have you read Just for the Summer? Have you read A Sign of Affection? And if you have, what have you thought about these two things? What are you reading right now? And if you joined me in reading and you hung out during this bookish sleepover, what did you get up to? Let a girl know in the comment section as well. And if you reached the very end of the video, let us leave some sleeping emojis in honor of our sleepover, some cozy emojis, whichever you think are cozy. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't done so already for more content like this, And if you'd like to support the channel further, Patreon is always linked down below in case you guys want to join a really cool bookish community and help support the channel extra. It helps run things as smoothly as possible to get equipment, which can often be quite expensive. And overall, you get a ton of different perks like live shows and a Discord server and book clubs and hangout, movie nights, game nights, and all of the fun. So I always leave that linked at the top of the description in case you guys want to check that out. I love you guys so much, and I will see you on the next one. Goodbye, sis.